Hello, everyone. It is time to begin, and it looks like I got back right at 8 o'clock, so that's awesome. Hope everyone has had a wonderful week since the last time we met up. And just so you know, I finally figured out what was wrong with the light bright thing, which we will go over in just a little bit. However, first, we had a question on the forums that I wanted to go ahead and address because it's something that a lot of games can use. And that is something called a two-door sliding door thing. That's the technical term. If you name it in Blueprints, it has to be two-door sliding door thing. That is accurate because things. Okay, so I'm in our first-person game, which for those of you who don't know, it's one of our several test beds. If you come in here, we've got a grappling hook system that we've set up. We've got a little dialogue system that is set up but currently doesn't have any text in it because I'm lazy. And apparently it is not removing the text like it's supposed to. We've got a little duck hunt, or a little duck shooting game, so like we can come in here and do that. Just like you found in the carnival. Don't remember which button it was that... Oh, yeah. Right click, we can change our fire mode. Yeah. And then we've got our destructible bushes. There it goes. And finally, we have our walk through walls thing. That's what we've gotten here so far. Okay. So, that was just kind of a brief overview of some of the things we've done. If you guys want me to go over any of those, let me know. We can definitely do that. Oh, and this box rotates. That's a really easy one. It's literally just add a rotating movement component. Okay, so first step to creating a door. A lot of people create doors inside of what is called the level blueprint. This can work. It's how it was done back in like UDK and Kismet, where you would do all of your, like if you didn't want to just code it, you would do all of your functionality inside of the level blueprint in Kismet, or the level Kismet. The problem with that is you end up bogging down your system really, really badly because it's just not very performant. Plus, if you wanted to use that object anywhere else, you would have to basically do all of the code again in that new area. And let's say you had multiple doors or something like that, you would have to make code for each and every door. That is very cumbersome and very tiring. I don't do that. I'm lazy. What I do is I create an individual actor. So you come in here, go blueprint class, bloop. And let's see, I believe I called it two-sided door, blah, blah, blah. We're just going to call it two-sided door because I am against the man. We're not going to do that. Okay. Start off with the default scene root, which as of, I believe, 4.7 is automatic. Like, it's always been automatic, but now you can actually add objects in here without it overwriting the default. We're going to use a static... Oh, nope. It's in 4.8. Okay. So we're going to need bloop, 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 a scene component. For now, I'm in 4.7.5, just so you guys know. I highly recommend switching to 4.8. It's much, much more stable than 4.7 was. Going to make a duplicate. And let's see, we need a mesh of a door of some sort. We'll just go with a door frame. You could always put glass in here or whatever. Now the reason you want a scene component is because if this were here, you'll notice I can't move it. I can't change it. I can't do anything with it. And this is the x-axis, okay. But by moving it to the scene component as opposed to that, we actually have the ability to move it. Put that there. And let's see, we need another one of those door frames. Well, this isn't going to be perfect. Hey, Jackie! Holy crap, how's it going, man? We're going to put these right here. It is overlapping, which looks bad. Well, you know what? I can just do this. because I am a little anal about that. I can't stand it when static meshes overlap and you can see that weird pixelation right between the two. Oh, it drives me insane. Okay, so this is going to be the basis here, and then we need a way to interact with them. So we're going to use a collision box. We want it to be like right within the door frame. That way it only happens when you're standing right in front of the doors. Think like automatic doors at Walmart or something like that. For those of you a little less ghetto, think maybe Target. Fancy people, you. So we got this, we got our collision box. Now this is actually really easy to set up. Hey James! We're going to take our event actor begin overlap and our event begin play, and these are the only two we're going to need for this. Keep in mind this is not the only way to do this. This is just my way, and I find that it works, so this is how I do it. I'm sure there are plenty of other ways to do this. It's okay. Just fair warning, Jackie, my internet connection is not the best right now. My roommate's actually going to be calling up, since it's in her name, she's going to be calling up tomorrow to get an improved connection, so hopefully on Friday we'll have a much better connection. Maybe next week, I don't know. Let's see, we're going to call this door 1 location, and we're going to make it a vector, and then we're going to do door 2 location, and I'm going to go ahead and rename these door 1. I hope I'm getting that right. Door 1. Yeah, that's fine. And door 2. Go ahead and place a copy of this in the level. Let's see. Going to do a set door, if I can spell, set door 1 location, set door 2 location. Oh, fine, I'll do it this way. Pain. Okay. Drag a copy of each of these into the level. Now what you're looking for in this case, you can either get world or relative location. We're going to use relative location for this because we want to make sure that we're moving relative to where the actor is placing as opposed to at hard world coordinates. Relative location. Do a get relative location. Move this over here. And we're going to plug that right in. And then relative location, boop. Boom, we got that set up. Okay, so what this is doing, you get each of your static meshes, your 2 doors, and then you get the relative location and set the variable door 1 loc and door 2 loc to those relative locations. Pretty easy. Okay. Next thing is we want to actually have something that interacts with the door when you cross over threshold, which would be our box collision. So actually, I'm going to select this. We're going to get rid of this overlap, and I'm going to go add event for box collision begin overlap. So the reason I'm doing this is because we don't want everything that overlaps. We only want pretty much when a player overlaps this, and specifically we want to make sure that it's when it overlaps the box, not when it's, you know, like let's say you had some messed up collision on your door frames, right? We don't want that to trigger your functionality, so you only want it on the box. Other actor, going to cast to my character, or cast to first person character, right? It's in my test bed at work that it's my character still, because I've seriously had one project since like 4.4, so I do a lot of things in that project. Okay, Next, we're going to grab a timeline. Timelines are awesome. I love me some timelines because timelines allow you to do a lot of cool stuff for very cheap. I'm going to play from start, not play. Open it up, set length to 1, use last keyframe. We're going to hit float track, call it open. Then we're going to set 2 keys. Now here, this is something I actually learned very recently. These values are extremely important that you make sure to set them to what, like specifically to what you want. If you set them to like 1.04, it will mess up your alpha scaling on what we're doing, and I'll show you that in just a second. And despite being very low numbers, it can be extremely noticeable. Now we're going to get a lerp between 2 vectors. We're going to need 2 of these. Why do we need 2? 2 doors. Haha. You guys are ahead of the class. Alright. We're going to do a get, and for each of these, I'm going to do a set relative location. I'm going to plug these into here. Plug this into here. Okay, so currently we're lerping between 0 and 0, which is not what we want. That does absolutely nothing. The first should always be the location you start at. Excuse me, sorry about that. Now the second, it's going to take me just a little bit of playing to make sure I get the right values, because one of them has to be positive and one of them has to be negative. And we'll know in just a moment whether we got it right or not. So we're going to go along the x-axis. We're going to give this one plus 100, this one minus 100, not minus 11, minus 100. Hit play. So now you see the doors. Come up to them. Aha! Not only are they wrong, they're in the wrong axis, because they're facing down the x-axis. So we actually want to do this on the y-axis. There we go. Just like that, you have 2 open doors. Now, thing is every time we go in here, it's going to play from start. Actually, I'm going to change that to just play. And the reason is, and overlap. Cast to first person. Now the reason we do another cast is because if we didn't, then what would happen